On a chilly Saturday morning just past 10 a.m., Michael Carter adjusted the brim of his baseball cap in the rearview mirror. The man staring back at him was almost unrecognizable. Not the influential CEO who had built a nationwide retail empire, but just another face in the crowd. His simple hoodie and jeans were a far cry from the tailored suits that usually defined his days. Today wasn't about boardrooms or stock performance. It was about stepping into his own business unannounced to see what it looked like through the eyes of an ordinary customer. Michael had always prided himself on fostering an inclusive and customer-first company culture. His stores were meant to be a place where everyone felt valued, no matter their background. But recently, troubling reports had surfaced. Complaints about poor service, bias, and indifference from employees. If there was truth to these claims, he needed to see it for himself, not as the CEO, but as a regular shopper. The store he had chosen sat just outside Chicago in a bustling suburban shopping plaza. It wasn't the company's flagship store, nor was it the highest-grossing location, but it held sentimental value. It was the first store he had opened outside of his home state, a milestone in his career. Michael had spent countless hours here in its early days, shaping its success. But years had passed, and now he wondered, had the warmth and inclusivity he envisioned remained? As he parked his car and stepped into the crisp autumn air, a mix of anticipation and unease settled over him. He was about to walk into the unknown, stripping away the safety net of his title to uncover the reality of his business. What Michael didn't realize, however, was that the truth he sought would challenge everything he believed about his company. Inside, the store hummed with activity. Customers navigated the aisles, carts full of merchandise, while children chattered excitedly near the toy section. Employees in uniform moved about, stocking shelves, assisting shoppers, and ringing up purchases. On the surface, everything appeared to be running smoothly. But Michael wasn't here for surface-level observations. He wanted to see what truly lay beneath. He wandered to the electronics section and picked up a pair of headphones, pretending to examine them. A young employee stood a few feet away, leaning against the counter, idly scrolling through his phone. Michael waited, expecting some acknowledgement, perhaps a greeting, a question, or even just eye contact. But nothing came. The employee didn't glance up, didn't offer assistance. He seemed completely indifferent. Michael decided to test further. He walked up to the counter and placed a boxed set of Bluetooth speakers on it, the kind of action that should naturally prompt a response. The young man finally looked up, his expression blank and uninterested. "Can I help you?" he asked, his tone making it clear that he wasn't particularly eager to do so. Michael remained calm, offering a polite smile. "Yeah, I was wondering if these are good for outdoor use." The employee barely glanced at the box before shrugging. "I don't know. Probably." His attention drifted back to his phone. Michael's stomach tightened. "Could you check? I just want to be sure before I buy them." With a sigh, the employee flipped the box over lazily and mumbled, "Says here they're weatherproof." He handed it back without further explanation. Michael clenched his jaw but kept his voice steady. "Do you know if they're compatible with most devices?" The young man rolled his eyes. "Look, all the details are on the box. You can read it yourself." He motioned vaguely toward the shelves. "Or just pick something else. Doesn't really matter to me." A heavy silence followed. Michael wasn't just disappointed. He was deeply concerned. This wasn't mere inattentiveness. It was outright dismissiveness. And if this was how a random customer was treated, how many others had left feeling the same frustration? Determined to dig deeper, Michael moved through the store, observing other interactions. Near the home goods section, he saw an older woman looking for assistance. She hesitated, scanning the store anxiously. Before Michael could step in, another employee approached her, cheerful and attentive. Relief softened the woman's face as they chatted, a stark contrast to what he had just experienced. As Michael turned back to the electronics counter, he overheard something that made his stomach drop. Two employees were speaking in hushed tones near a display of kitchen appliances, and one subtly gestured in Michael's direction. "That guy over there," one said, smirking. "He's probably just browsing. People like him don't buy anything big." Michael felt his blood run cold. The second employee chuckled. "Yeah, doesn't look like he's got the cash for this stuff." Probably just wasting time.
A gut Punch.
They had no idea who he was. To them, he was just another black man in their store, someone they had already written off based on nothing but assumption. Michael resisted the urge to react immediately. Instead, he made his way toward the checkout, his mind racing. At the register, a middle-aged black woman named Denise greeted him warmly. "Did you find everything okay?" she asked with a genuine smile. "Not exactly," Michael admitted. "But I think I'll hold off for now." Denise's smile faltered slightly, but she nodded. "Well, if you need anything, we're here to help." Her sincerity stood out. Unlike some of the employees he encountered, Denise exemplified the professionalism he expected from his team. Why was there such a disparity? Why were some employees warm and welcoming while others were dismissive and biased? Michael left the store and sat in his car, gripping the steering wheel tightly. His company was supposed to stand for something better. Yet, his experience revealed a troubling reality. The casual nature of the discrimination, the indifference, it wasn't just one bad employee. It was a symptom of a deeper issue. He grabbed a notebook from his glove compartment and started writing. Change was needed, and it had to start from the top. His first step? A meeting with the store manager. Walking back inside, he asked for the manager, who arrived moments later. His name was Brian, and he looked surprised to see Michael standing there. "I'm Michael Carter," he introduced himself, extending a hand. Brian's eyes widened. "I own this company." Brian paled. "Mr. Carter, I didn't realize." "That's the point," Michael interrupted. "I came here as a customer to see how things really operate. And what I experienced today, it was unacceptable." He detailed the poor service, the dismissiveness, the outright prejudice he had encountered. Brian listened, his face growing red with discomfort. "I wasn't aware of these issues," he stammered. "I always encourage professionalism." Michael nodded. "Then something is slipping through the cracks, and that's on both of us." That afternoon, he held an impromptu staff meeting. As employees gathered in the break room, their expressions shifted from curiosity to apprehension when they realized who he was. Michael spoke calmly but firmly, making it clear, change was coming. Bias training would be mandatory. Anonymous reporting systems would be implemented. And he would be personally visiting stores, unannounced, to ensure that every customer was treated with respect. Before leaving, he stopped by Denise's register. "Thank you for being a bright spot today," he told her. She smiled. "I just treat people how I'd want to be treated." Driving away, Michael felt a renewed sense of purpose. Change wouldn't happen overnight, but he was ready to lead it. Because sometimes, facing hard truths was the only way forward.